had one of those nights that starts out like any other, but ends up being the best night of your life? I did. Our goal that night was simple. 12 pubs, 12 pints, from the first post to the world's end. But that night, we never made it.
Hey, so The World's End. I've been waiting for this movie for a very long time. They mentioned it years ago, and Edgar Wright, went off and did other things, did Scott Pilgrim. Simon Pegg went off and did Paul and a million other movies because he's like a megastar now. Same with Nick Frost. So now I'm glad it's finally out. So what are your guys... First of all, let's go to the history of Edgar Wright here. What's your guys' history with Edgar Wright? Like, when did you watch... What's the first thing you were introduced to? Probably Shaun of the Dead, right?
Shaun of the Dead.
That was all our introduction. I had Shaun of the Dead maybe like 3 or 4 months before it was even released in America. Me and Anthony got it on a bootleg.
So cool.
Bootleg of Monster Mania, so we were watching it.
We do not endorse bootlegged media. Being filmmeakers,
No, to be honest...
pirating is bad.
To be honest, I think it was a perfectly legal DVD. It was just
the UK edition?
It was just from the UK, which means I got it.
Rewind.
It was probably bootlegged, I'm not gonna lie. But I didn't know it was coming out in America at that point. I just heard about this really awesome movie from the UK. And I think we can all agree it's probably the funniest movies, one of the funniest movies we've ever seen. And Hot Fuzz, I love to death because I love action and cop comedies. And now we have The World's End, which is basically a homage to like Invasion of the Body Snatchers or John Carpenter's The Thing. Any movie where there's something otherworldly assuming the identity of humans.
When Mars Attacks. No.
In Mars Attacks, only one alien dressed up like a human.
But it was good.
But Pierce Brosnan was in that.
Pierce Brosnan was in both, though.
Yeah, there you go. Bringing it together.
So yeah, do you want to tell the story again, or Monica, would you like to do it?
Okay, so it starts off with Simon Pegg's character, Gary King, who... He was an alcoholic, right?
More than just an alcoholic.
But,
He was
like,
just
It opens with him, I'm assuming, like in a support group for AA or like at rehab.
By the way, Easter egg, the girl to the right of him, that was the zombie Mary from Shaun of the Dead. The first zombie they fight.
Really?
Yep.
We had this idea that everybody who's in the first two has to be in this film.
We were very keen that we keep the same team. It's like family.
He decides everything went to shit when him and his friends didn't complete the
famous
Golden Mile.
The Golden
Mile.
Where you have to hit up 12 pubs in their hometown.
What the hell's a pub?
It's a place where you drink.
You mean a bar?
The pub.
This
Sounds
is America.
fancier.
Say bar. I don't like British humor because I can't understand what they're saying.
So him and his friends haven't talked since they graduated. What's the equivalent of high school and
Secondary school.
secondary school?
Sure. Sure. Go ahead. Yeah, that works.
Anyway, so he decides to get the gang back together, and he kind of tricks them all into coming back to their hometown and doing the Golden Mile to hit up all the 12 pubs.
But I just want, if I'm going to add, he tricks them by saying that Andy's coming, who's Nick Frost's character, and throughout, until the very end of the film, we don't find out what this accident is that made Andy and Gary stop talking.
Yeah.
So that's an unknown.
And yeah, so he tells everyone that Andy's coming, but then he tells Andy that his mother died, and that's why he wants him to come out, which you could tell right away is a lie.
Yeah.
But they all believe him.
But Andy has a soft spot for Gary still after all these years.
And who wouldn't? I mean, really.
Come on.
Yeah, so I guess I'll tell the rest of it. They go back to the Golden Mile, and things are not what they seem in their town. Everything has been starbucked, which I love that expression, starbucking.
Yeah, that was good.
The central theme of the film is your hometown is not what it used to be.
Look who it is. Wow, long time. Gary.
Willkommen, bienvenue, welcome.
Well, it's weird, isn't it? You come back and everything's sort of different.
Is that because you've got older or has something else happened?
I suggest you get on your way.
Yeah, and then everyone just starts acting weird. They're either emotionless or they're too friendly and polite.
They don't remember them.
They don't remember. They have very selective memory. And it turns out they're robots, but they don't like being called robots.
Because they're not slaves.
Yes.
Robot means slave.
So they're genetically engineered alien byproducts, I guess.
Yeah, they're duplicates.
Yeah. Although I still don't know how their body works, because they're basically built like a Barbie. Like, they have a little corkscrew, they just pop the head on, and they're completely hollow, apparently.
They got nothing in them besides some blue ink.
Yeah, the blue.
When we did Hot Fuzz, it wasn't a sequel to Shaun of the Dead. When we started writing The World's End, we thought, well, actually, maybe we can make this a trilogy.
This brings together Shaun of the Dead and Hot Fuzz. It's about the individual versus the collective, whether it be zombies or the NWA. So it's a fitting conclusion to those 3 films.
I think I love that, like, when shit just starts, like, going to hell, like, at the point where, like, they know about the robot aliens. What do they call them?
They called them. They came up with like so many different names.
Yeah, they
blanks.
think
They called them blanks. That's what they settled on.
Blanks and not blanks and stuff.
Yeah.
Blank.
There's a really funny discussion where they're like discussing what they should call the robots because they know the robots are offended by the word robots.
Yeah.
So at that point, like when they're at the pubs and then they start figuring out what's going on, and then the robots start kind of figuring out that they know, and then like everything just starts going to shit.
And as with all these movies, even though there is like a plot going on, it always like reflects what the characters are going through personally. Like Shaun of the Dead was about like a guy who really needs to grow apart from his friend, and that happens because he becomes a zombie. Hot Fuzz was about 2 people who are completely different working together. So, and this is basically like
everyone coming together again.
Coming together again.
But it's like,
but also learning how to move on too.
Well, not in. Moving on, he didn't really move on because in the end he went and hung out.
Well, don't spoil the goddamn
I'm not gonna
ending.
say it, but like it's not. He didn't really. Move on.
It was like a second chance though for him at the end.
Well, he kind of moved on because like he got over that one hurdle.
Yeah. It was basically him like finally getting a second chance with his friends, basically, kind of. The cast of this movie, they are really great. It's the best group cast I've seen since This Is the End. Although these people were not playing their actual selves. Martin Freeman was awesome in it as the uptight dude with the fucking Bluetooth. Oliver, maybe. Who's the other guy with like the baby face?
Peter.
What's his? Do anyone know his real name?
I don't know his real name.
I've
Sorry,
seen him before, but
I've seen him before too. The most recently.
He was the car dealer, but he worked for his dad.
Yeah.
Okay.
Really great cast. The one of the detectives from Hot Fuzz was the other guy who was in love with
Oliver's sister.
Oliver's sister, who has a name and I'm forgetting it right now.
Sam.
I meant like the real actress's name. She was in Doom and Die Another Day.
Yeah.
Those are not good examples of her career. I like that story too, because usually it's like you expect one of the main characters to fall in love with the girl, and they say like Gary had a history with her, and you're like, oh, obviously he's gonna get with her, and it's like, nope, one of the side characters ends up getting with her.
I liked that.
Rare that you see that. And yeah, I think the relationship again between Nick Frost and Simon Pegg is the strong point of all these movies.
What I liked about this one that wasn't so much previous in Shaun of the Dead and Hot Fuzz is that Nick Frost's character Andy wasn't the fuck up.
Yeah,
So
they reversed it.
They reversed it, which is like even in Spaced, Mike was still kind of fucked up. But this time it was like he had all his ducks in the row.
Yeah.
Kind of. You find out.
Until the end when you realize he's going through some shit too.
But still, that was a nice little.
But yeah, it was like kind of like Shaun of the Dead. I guess they were both kind of fuck ups, but.
Yeah, but
Nick Frost had less to lose, and then Hot Fuzz, Nick Frost like meant well, but he was still the bumbling guy. Yeah. Paul, they were completely equal. Yeah. They were completely equal in whatever the hell was going on in that movie. And now finally Nick Frost has the upper hand. He's the smart and intellectual one, and Gary is the fucked up one. The movie did get really depressing at times. Did any of you think that?
Yeah.
Yeah, there's points.
More so, that's one of the issues. I hear every time Edgar Wright's movies come out, the big issue is like, it was really funny, then it got too serious. Like, people said that about Shaun of the Dead, when he had to like shoot his mother and stuff.
Yeah.
But I mean, that's shit that you see in zombie movies, so they had to do it. They had to do the cliche of like, oh, I got bit, I'm not gonna tell anyone.
Yeah, but like it got depressing for maybe like 2.5 minutes, and then I was like, eh.
Yeah,
Okay
I thought this one balanced it better than the other ones did. Although Hot Fuzz never really got depressing.
No, I don't think Hot Fuzz.
There's that scene where Nick Frost like turns on Simon Pegg, and you're like, oh, but then it like quickly, and then Nick Frost dies and comes back. But yeah, this one is a little bit better.
Well, it's kind of because they weaved through that, like, what is this motherfucking accident? And then you find out, and then you, like, get okay with it, and then it's back to being, like, funny.
I did like how they were trying to, like, check and see who was a duplicate or not, which I swore they were going to do what they did in the original thing, where they have, like, the blood, but they didn't do that. Instead, they're, like, looking at scars that they all know they have. And Simon Pegg doesn't show him his scars, and you're like, oh, wait, maybe he was switched with a duplicate, maybe that'll be the twist. And then, nope, the twist is just really depressing. It's apparently he tried to kill himself, and that's why he was covering up his arm. And you're like, wow, that's deep. And all this is going on while they're having a conversation with a galactic almighty being who controls the universe.
No, that was before they went down.
Yeah.
Was it?
Yeah.
Oh, okay, never mind.
And then they, like, dropped.
Well, yeah, that's the thing. It's like, wow, it's a really personal, private moment. Oh, and humanity happens to be in jeopardy. I really thought it was going to be more post-apocalyptic. Doesn't really happen till the end of the movie. Mm-hmm. I kind of felt like the way I envisioned it when they were first advertising it is like as they're going on the bar crawl, the world is ending, but that doesn't happen till the end, which is fine because I think we have enough end of the world movies right now. I mentioned that before, and this is the end because we had like Ratchetpalooza, this is the end, and I think another movie. So it was fine to see like all the apocalypse stuff is done in like the last 10 minutes. The Cornetto was funny.
Yeah.
The ice cream, I was like, because I'm waiting the whole movie, I'm like, when's the ice cream going to show up? And then it showed up at the end. I'm like, that was clever. One little issue, I thought they could have explained the actual robot a little bit more.
The big one?
Yeah, the big one. Like, I thought, oh, maybe that's going to be the leader.
The modern art.
The modern art, which I thought that was really clever. They're just hiding their aliens out in the open. I thought that would play somewhat of a bigger part, but it just happens to be a robot that monitors. I thought, like, maybe that would be their leader, but their leader is just a beam of light.
Like a voice.
Oh,
like...
the voice is Bill Nye.
Oh, really?
Not the science guy. Bill Nye, the stepdad from Shaun of the Dead.
The British guy.
Yes. Oh, Davy Jones.
Yeah, but that's not his name.
Bill Nye?
Yeah,
Lee.
Nye?
No,
whatever.
Nye.
I think it's pronounced Nye.
Oh.
You let us know. Comment in the bottom, like no one ever does. Leave a comment and tell us which one's right.
I'm pretty sure I'm right.
You should see it.
Definitely.
If you haven't already.
You should see it if you haven't already. I liked it a lot. I don't know any town where there's 12 bars in walking distance or pubs.
Neither do I.
So that's pretty cool.
Doylestown, maybe. There's a lot in Doylestown you can walk to. But
I completely understand why Sam went in the disabled with young Gary King because he was pretty good looking. Apparently Tony thinks there's like a really like an Alexander Skarsgård look.
Oh yeah, there's a dude.
Not.
I finally IMDb'd it. It's definitely not him. But there was a guy. There's a guy there's a big twist in the movie. I guess I'll spoil whatever. They realize that like the aliens are trying to like give them what they want to keep them in line.
Yeah.
And they're like, hey, isn't that the guy you used to have a crush on? To the girl, but then like the guy was dead and she knew that.
Yeah, like died.
But the dude looked exactly like Eric from True Blood.
No, he didn't.
To the point I went, huh? And then I hear someone behind me go, oh, it's the True Blood guy. And I was like. But then it cuts before I realize it. But yes, IMDb, it's not him. So you Trubies, I'm sorry. Yeah. Skarsgård's not in it. He should be though.
He should be in everything. Naked.
But that's my final thought.
That's your final thought? You
yes.
didn't say anything.
Yes, my final thought is Eric should be
naked.
No, that's your final thought.
No,
my final thought.
Okay, my final thought. I think this is a really, really nice end to the trilogy. I don't know if they'll continue making them. They keep saying this is the end. Keep saying this is the end of the trilogy.
Maybe they'll make a
new trilogy. A new one.
Yeah. Well, they want to branch out again. I think they had an obligation to like do another one of these type of movies. They tied us over with Paul, but that wasn't enough. But now Edgar Wright is on to Ant-Man for Marvel. So hopefully, I don't think Simon Pegg's going to play Ant-Man, but there's a rumor he might.
He already said he's not.
Yeah, that's what I assumed. But then he posted that picture of him pointing to Ant-Man, and the internet blew up. And then Ben Affleck came out, and everyone stopped caring.
Let's climb down the drain pipe.
I got a better idea. Climb down the drain pipe.
So yeah, that's it. Bye.
To the world's end. We are going to get to the world's end if it kills us. Oh no.